Hey guys, so we are going to be working on Hamming. So this is basically comparing two DNA strands and checking that there are differences, and then it will return that difference as a distance. In this case is 7. All right, so we're basically going to be comparing two strings together, comparing exactly their positions and seeing where the difference is. All right, so get the code down and go into Sublime. Have a look. This is what we're going to be implementing. So here is 0. This is 0, no difference. This is definitely difference, it's 1. And apparently this has 9. Okay. All right, so I'm going to copy this and let's have a look. So I basically did a research, found out about zip, just to see how it's done in Python. So zip basically allows you to zip two things together. In this case, we have number and letter, and it comes this way. So this basically means I can compare 1 and A, 2 and B, 3 and C together. So that seemed like very similar to what we'll be working on. All right. All right, so now I can go into our Python environment, and let's create a list. So I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to create another list. So we have list A and B, which we can go ahead and view. So I want to zip this together. All right, so if we do that, make it into a list. So that's what it looks like there. So what we can then do is go over that zip, but what we now want to do is x and y will give us, and we can compare if x is not equal to y. So x and y is, a, b, g, g, a, g, and so on. So let's see what happens. So that's what it gives us. So I might want to return x and y. So it will give us all the ones that are not the same. So if I then check the length of this, it gives me 9. So we could use that to solve, as that is the solution to that problem there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is copy this. Now go back in here and then paste that in here. All right, so I'm going to substitute things. So I'm going to return this, of course. So I'm going to then take strand A and strand B and replace them in there. Okay, now everything should just work. Let's have a look and run our test. All right, so we have some failures. So these failures are to do with assertion, value not raised. Okay, so if I have a look down here, it wants us to raise an error when this and this are not the same length. So you can see, okay, so that means we need to raise a value error when those are not the same. So I can do that here. So check the length of A. If it's not the same as the length of B, we can go ahead and raise an error. And you could put any message in here that would make sense. Okay, so that would take care of that, and then this should all be green. All right, so that looks good to me. So let's go ahead and run the test again. Okay, so now it's all green. So I think we've definitely fixed that one. So with that done, I am just going to go back into the terminal and submit our work. let's have a look and see what we can learn from other developers in the community. Alright, so this basically loops over each one and manually checks them and increments Hamming +1 each time. Okay, so that makes sense. And this also does very similar to the other one. It just does it on one line, checks if strand A is not the same as strand B, then it goes ahead and +1 into distance, plus equal 1. And this is very similar to what we've done with zip, but then it goes ahead and increments distance. It has a variable that is incremented as opposed to just using the len as we did. Alright, so it's very similar. Go ahead and have a look at other ones and learn something there. So that's it, guys. In the next one, we'll have a look at the isogram. So I'll see you in the next challenge.